Hey guys, it's Amtrak and Scale here with another video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're a subscriber or just a returning viewer, welcome back. Today I'm just going to do like a little talking head video update of what's been going on. A lot of stuff has changed, or I've gotten things in since I last talked to you guys. So without further ado, we'll just go through it. So you can see here I've got my two Veterans engines. Longtime viewers of the channel will know that I've had these for a while. I'm just displaying them here because these are kind of what I guess, built my quote-unquote brand around. So we're kind of, as we do this talking head video, we're going to kind of do like a collection update as that's really the major thing that's been happening as I've been adding to my collection. I haven't really built much in the way of track or infrastructure, or transform or whatever. So this will be mostly a collection focused update, as most of my collection, my updates in general are. So just be prepared for that. But I am going to try and get through all my additions and just collection in general. So as far as engines go, we can start with my two Veterans engines here. So that's my MTH P42, and then that's my custom painted Lionel Cabbage. Unfortunately, because I was an idiot, I blew the board up on it. So I'm gonna try and see if maybe around like February next year, whenever I can find somebody available, because I'd feel bad like burdening somebody that does like upgrades and stuff during Christmas time. So probably after like February, I'm gonna think about having it gutted, or just gut it myself and then have somebody install like a lighting kit, make it kind of like a K-line cab car. Hint, hint. That's something you'll see a bit later, but yeah, that's probably what I'll do with it. And because right now it's board's gone, so I don't really have anything to do with it other than it be dead weight, and I'd like to change that. So continuing with engines, this is my Premier, MTH Premier P42. It's the Phase 4 Heritage unit. And we spoke about this one last time. It's a really nice engine. I haven't really gotten to run it all that much, but Christmas time I should be able to, because that's when I actually have room. I'm probably gonna go to the store and get some 072s, and then I'll have like a proper loop like you guys have seen. I was gonna probably go more for fast track, because that's what I've been using, and that's what I use at work. So it's a lot easier to do fast track, and yeah. But I'm kind of getting off topic here. As far as features, it's got the Proto 3 and everything. Definitely one of my favorite engines in my collection, and I'm hoping to add more P42s eventually. I gotta save a bit. So anyway, on to the next engine. Alright, so continuing on, this is my my third P42 in the collection. It's you probably already know, if you're a big Amtrak Amtrak just O-scale guy, you probably already know what this is. This is the part of the first run that MTH did with Walthers to make the Amtrak a Phase 5 wave scheme P42s. Unfortunately, these originally came with Proto 2, and it wasn't the greatest Proto 2, but unfortunately, this one had, I don't know exactly what happened, but my dad and I, at one point, we were trying to change the sound file on it, and I guess it got corrupted, so it screwed up the board, so I ended up just gutting it, and now it's a dummy. But it does look pretty decent as a dummy. At least I think so. And 204, I think at one point had visited the Southern California area. So that's primarily what I model. If you guys aren't familiar, some longtime viewers of the channel will know that that's primarily what I model, is mostly Southern California Amtrak and things like that. And coming up, I'll show you some other things that I'm kind of branching off into, but I don't know if I'll stay in that branch. You'll just have to stay tuned for that. So this is my Dash 8. This is also a Premier engine. It's the Phase 5 paint scheme. I'm not entirely sure what catalog this came out of. It's pretty recent. This was in the last couple years. Probably my most recent engine was the Phase 4 Heritage unit. And not only being my most recent like diesel that I've gotten, but also most recent like production. Yeah, this has got, Proto 3. It's a Premier engine, really nice, one of my favorites. And I'm hoping to possibly replace it with an Atlas engine in the future and replace the TMCC with Proto 3, but God knows if that'll even be an option in the future. I actually kind of foresee TMCC being the thing with MTH closing down, and we'll just have to see though. Time will tell. And now we begin with a new branch on the channel, Steam. So I've decided to start collecting steam engines that I believe are kind of underrated or were scrapped altogether. So like extinct ones. This one doesn't necessarily fit that. It was more of just like I needed something to test my TMCC system, and I needed to get used to TMCC Steam and things like that. So that's why I got it. And I'll probably be selling it in the future, pretty quick. If you're interested in it, let me know, or look out for it on the OGR forum. I'll probably put that up for sale. It's in good shape, really good runner, die-cast, TMCC, all that. And yeah, I mainly just got it so I could get used to what TMCC Steam's going to be like, because I've been an MTH guy for all my life, so I've never really had TMCC Steam. And yeah, it's a H10, H9 or H10 consolidation, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'll probably be getting rid of that pretty soon. Speaking of TMCC Steam, and now that I think about it, there's also another Steam engine that I got. It's not currently here because it was being stupid, typical brass. You're never gonna have a good time with brass. I learned that the hard way, and from watching my boss fix brass engines. They're not cooperative like ever. So that's back where I got it from right now, and they were trying to straighten it out, but now they just decided it's not worth it. So I'll have to have ERR crews and stuff installed in it, and that's not going to be very fun. But I think in the end it'll be worth it. It's a Weaver K5A Hudson, I think. It's a CN Hudson. I have the certificate of authenticity here. Yeah, there you go. K5A. So, hopefully that can get done, and you'll see more Steam on the channel. I do have 2 other locomotives. I would like to keep them, but I spent a lot this year, so I might get rid of those too. And why don't we get to those while we're at it. So this is my Mohawk. It's Premier, Proto 2, everything, I got this on eBay from Chicagoland Hobbies, I think it was. Yeah, paid a pretty penny for it, but it's a nice engine. I might get rid of it so that I can focus more on a core collection. Because I do have the M fleets and the Viewliner coming, and then I might jump in on some other projects that Sunset's doing, because they announced the Eagle, the Missouri Pacific Eagle. I don't know if I'll get in on that, but they announced a couple other trains too, so I might look into getting rid of this. Just focus on more of my core collection. Maybe get rid of the other engine I have too. So yeah, just let me know on that. They are great runners, and I'll probably post on the OGR forum to get rid of them. So look out for that. They'll be with that PRR consolidation. And yeah. As much as I hate to do it, I probably really should focus on my core collection, as I've spent a lot, and it's not cheap. This hobby's not cheap, But I in the time that I've had with these, oh boy, have I loved them. I'll probably get a running video up before I get rid of them, but if that doesn't pan out, if that doesn't happen, then I'll let you guys know. I will try and get my Hudson back at least before Christmas, if that's possible. Anyway, on to the next engine. So this is my Niagara. It's Proto 2. I think it's the early run. It's like an early Proto 2, but it hasn't blown up yet, so that's that's a good thing for me. I love this engine, I really do. The Niagaras are like probably my favorite steam engine ever to exist. There's a couple exceptions to that rule, but not many. This is like this for me. This was the ultimate steam locomotive ever created in the history of steam in the U.S. As far as rigid frame goes. Sure, there was the Q2, but this only I guess clarify like rigid frame 2-cylinder engine. This was the Zenith design. There was nothing better ever in the United States. This was the best as far as all around goes. It was fast, it was powerful, and it got the job done. Super free steaming as well. There's a book called Know Thy Niagaras that you guys, if you haven't checked out, you should. They don't make the book anymore because it was a limited run by the New York Central Historical Society, but I would definitely look into, at least if your friends have one, look into getting it for borrowing it for a day or something like that. It's a really informative book, and it just shows why the Niagaras deserve more respect than they get. I'm sure. I mean, I know there's a lot of Niagara fans out there, but the general public doesn't really know the Niagara more than like as much as they do the Hudson. You know, like everybody knows the Dreyfus Hudson, and I plan on getting one of those as well in the future. But do have to focus on my core collection, and that's for that reason I'm probably gonna get rid of this engine as well. And it hurts to do that, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. As far as engines go, that about wraps it up. I do have some rolling stock that I'm gonna go through. I'm not gonna go through all of my rolling stock because that would take forever, and you guys are probably already bored of me talking. But I will go through some pieces that are noteworthy and new additions. Alright, so here's my Superdome. This is my Golden Gate Depot Superdome. I may consider selling this as well, just to get another one, because this is not the Superdome that I did some research, not the Superdome that actually runs with 261. So I may get rid of this one and I go by the correct number, because I know Golden Gate Depot is doing a second run. So we'll have to see on that. But for now, it's definitely it's going to stay in the collection until I can figure that out. And I'm not, so I won't really be getting rid of a Superdome. I'm just going to be getting the correct number. I don't feel like burdening Christine with relettering or renumbering a simple dome. I mean, it's not worth her time, and it's not worth the effort to send it all the way to Pennsylvania, right? So yeah, but this is a really cool dome. Definitely one of my favorite cars in my collection. It's all brass, so that definitely adds to the character, and that was why it was so expensive. It was like $600-700, something like that. That's why it was so expensive, and that's why if you are in on the Southern Pacific Daylight run that they're doing, and you saw the 3/4 domes, by the way, go check those out if you haven't already. They are doing those in brass, so they're similar price. That's just kind of how it is, unfortunately, but you know, oh well. But I love this car because all the LED lighting, the interior, it's a classic car for sure. The only problem is I do have to track down a Skytop, not the ones that Sunset's making. Those won't work because they're not the Rapid series. They're the Creek series, and that makes a difference. It's not just lettering. Unfortunately, it's a window arrangement too, so I can't just re-letter a Creek series. It would look wrong. So, yeah. Anyway, on to the next car. All right, so you guys have probably seen these coaches, but at least the coach before, not the Coach Cafe. This is a new addition. It's a K-line Surfliner, if you couldn't tell. It's the Coach Cafe car. I scored that on eBay, and that one I'm for sure keeping because it's part of the core collection for sure. That's that like Amtrak, Southern California, at least southwestern routes, things like that. So that one I'm for sure keeping. And this I've had this coach, and I'm hoping to eventually get a full Surfliner going, maybe even enough for a Del Mar set. California natives will know what that is. If you're not familiar, basically what happens is the Surfliner gets pretty busy during the Del Mar race season. It hasn't been that busy this year, obviously, because of COVID. But usually, like at least during summer and the Del Mar race season, the trains get really busy, so they'll run 10-car sets. So they'll take like part of another set and then couple it to a regular Surfliner set, and then you'll have your Del Mar set. So they usually be about 10 cars long. I've seen 7, 8, 9, 10. No more than 10. Sometimes I've seen sometimes 12, but that's really really rare. And yeah, I'm hoping I can get a Del Mar set out of it because that'd make it interesting. Because the Del Mar sets also have like sometimes diners or diner lounges in place of cafes, or they'll have Superliner cafes. Just really anything at that point that to fill in the shortage. That's what they do. So it's kind of cool. Yeah, hopefully I'll have a full train here pretty soon. I do have one full train that I've pretty much completed. I don't have it fully complete, but I did complete the vast majority of it. I'm just waiting on a couple other things I'm waiting on my amphitheats to come in, that it'll be complete, and I'll show you that in a bit. So this is my Surfliner cab car. I'm so excited to have this. I scored it off of eBay the other day. This is like one of the big pieces that I needed. I could care less about coaches. So that's why I got the cafe and the coach baggage, the cab car. I really did want to get the business class, but that was too much at the time, so I let that go. But this was like a huge addition to the collection for me. I'm so happy to have it. Love my K-Line cars, and I don't understand why K-Line had to go out of business. It's all those years ago. It's so sad that we don't have them in the hobby, but I'm so glad that all of their cars are around for us to enjoy still, even if it does mean you have to pay a pretty penny. All right, as far as additions that I'm most proud of go, this is probably it right here. I forget what I said about the Surfliner. This is like probably what I'm most proud of. I saw 5 of these pop up on eBay the other day, and I hadn't seen any of them in quite a long time, and I immediately snatched them up. It was 5, so 4 coaches and then 1 dinette or cafe, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure what the window arrangements Atlas did. Who knows? But yeah, I immediately snatched these up, and I'm so proud to have them in my collection because now it completes a train. I have a complete train. I can run with my cabbage or a P42 in one end. Like I have a complete train, and I'm very excited for that. Especially since I'm getting my amphitheats in, I'll be able to run a little bit longer sets and things like that. I'd potentially run like, I don't know, like double-ended, maybe Del Mar sets of single level equipment. We'll see though. We'll see. I'd have to get a full dome to do that, and there's not really any that are available that fit my criteria. But yeah, very happy about that, and that does mean I'm going to be getting rid of my Phase 3 equipment. So look out for that on the OGR forum as well. I will be getting rid of my Phase 3 equipment and a couple undecorated cars, just so I can have some extra cash flow and you know, these have rendered them obsolete since I now don't have to do any custom paint work. And I'm kind of relieved about that. So, yeah, that was a very fun addition to the collection, and those 5 cars. Super proud of it, and I can't wait to actually get all 5 of them out and running as to show you guys and stick maybe the Superdome into an excursion service as like I've always wanted to. I mean, sure I did last year with my Phase 3 equipment, but I've always wanted to do it with Phase 6. Always wanted to do it with Phase 6. And final edition, yes, this is HO. I'm not going to be getting into HO, so don't get excited. But I had to get this because for those who know me personally, you know I have a love affair with the Southern Pacific and Texas and New Orleans, whichever you prefer to call it, the P14 Sunbeam engines. I love those. So I had to pick this up, and I got it for a pretty darn good deal. As you see here, it's 500 pieces. I really didn't know a whole lot about these, but this is a brass model. I'm so happy to have it in my collection. This is kind of a stopgap measure until Sunset decides to make a Sunbeam. I'm probably going to see if Scott will do that. I'll have to ask him because I would absolutely immediately order one. I don't care what it costs. I would absolutely order one of those because the P14s are just beautiful. They're kind of like single headlight, no, the GS2s were single headlight, but they're kind of like flat nose GS2s, but Pacifics, if that makes any sense. I'll be right back, actually. I'm going to get this box off. Here it is. P14 Pacific. Only for the Sunbeam. I think there was only like 3 of these. There's 650 to 652. There was only like 3 of them, and they ran on the Sunbeam and the Hustler in Texas. So it's pretty much the Southern Daylight, if you want to call it that. Absolutely gorgeous engine. It is brass, if I didn't mention that. So you can see kind of the front end there, what it looks like. So that's the unique design. That's a kind of unique design to it. These were essentially just P10. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard of the streamlined P10 Pacifics. I think those were the San Joaquin Daylight. Those were kind of streamlined, but not fully. This is basically like that, but they hot rodded the shit out of it and gave it box puck drivers. So that's what that is. If you need a quick explanation of it. So anyway, that pretty much does it for my, I guess, my collection update here. Hopefully I'll have good news for you guys soon on the Amfleets. I mean, they're a done deal, and I know they're going in production. So hopefully I'll be able to do a video on them maybe by next year, like by the first of the year next year. We'll just have to see what Sunset wants to do. Because they are kind of taking their time, but given that they're a small company, I should probably expect that. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, and yeah.